Hey guys, I'm Mitchell with the video for you. In today's video, we're going to compare the iPhone 11 going into 2022 and if it's worth it in comparison to iPhone 12 and 13 that came out. Now, the iPhone 11 surprisingly was released back in September of 2019. Now, 2.5 years later, Apple still sells this device on its website. So if you go on Apple's website, you'll be able to find this. Now, you will only have two different storage options that's available, which is a 64 gig for $499 and then the 128 gig for $549 in the US. Now, there was a third option for the bigger storage, which is the 256 gig, which Apple no longer produces, which you can probably get it from sites like eBay or Amazon, which we'll leave some link in the description section for a cheaper priced iPhone 11 that you can get if you don't buy directly from Apple. Now, the iPhone 11 here, interestingly enough, is pretty much an upgrade of the iPhone XR, if you recall, in terms of upgrade into the camera space where you had that one camera. Now you have two dual camera in the back here. Now you also have this improved selfie front-facing camera for your FaceTime and taking beautiful selfies, and then a bigger battery, that 3110 mAh battery, which gave this iPhone a massive upgrade in terms of battery life. Now, this phone itself, as you see here, it's a built on that round edge bezel here, really nice and slick on your hand. Now, the 11 here, not to get confused with the 11 Pro and the Pro Max, which has those triple camera. There is no mini edition of the 11 here, unlike the 12 and 13, which have a mini addition to it. Now, if you think about the iPhone 11 here, solid build, good quality phone with good cameras. Now, you're going to be looking to compare the 11 with the 12 and the 13 here. The reason why you're going to be doing it is that currently, if you're using an 11 and you're thinking of upgrading, probably going to be depending on how much you're looking to pay and if those minor upgrades are really worth it for you or not. But before we go into the comparison of that, we want to talk about the 11 and a couple things about it. We mentioned the camera again, phenomenal camera. When it comes down to it, you're able to take some really good HDR photos. You have that portrait mode, allows you to select multiple different options to really enhance your photography still. You also have the ability to record some really excellent in video up to 4K 60 frames per second. Again, really good camera overall here. Now, in terms of the hardware, it does have 4 gigs of RAM and that A13 Bionic chip. Now, Apple's up to A15 Bionic chip, 2 generations old. But for a normal day-to-day stuff, from just simply using your social media to watching in videos, which the 6.1-inch display here does a really good job when it comes to doing a lot of video streaming, whether it be YouTube, Netflix, your favorite streaming platform, or simply gaming. That 6.1-inch display here, beautiful here, and the actual brightness here, if you take it outside and such, you'll notice that the quality of the display is pretty good comparing to, of course, this is LCD compared to the Pro models, which has the OLED. The LCD sometimes seems to be better in some condition, but definitely not going to be like OLED here. So in terms of your day-to-day stuff, good, powerful chipset on it. Now, the one thing on this iPhone here, as you know, software-wise, iPhone 11 was initially released on iOS 13. Now, 2 generations, we were able to upgrade to iOS 15 without any issues, and we haven't experienced any issues. Now, if you're a regular user simply looking to make call and texting and browsing around, you notice that the 11 does that pretty well. Now, there's not to say that it is the fastest out there, but in terms of speed, you don't get too much upgrade when you're upgrading to iPhone 12 or 13. And that kind of goes to show when it comes to Apple iPhones, when you're going from one version to another, it's not as much of an update than if you're going couple versions ahead. Of course, if you're upgrading from iPhone 7 or 8 to iPhone 11, you'll notice huge improvement on the actual performance and speed and cameras and all of that, because that is a true upgrade. But going from one version to the next one isn't too much of groundbreaking when it comes to comparing these phones here. And that's where we're going to talk about the next step, is that right now, is the iPhone 11 worth it to buy in 2022? Now, if you're really on budget friendly but looking for some of the top feature, a phone that will last you good 3 to 4 years, and you don't care about 5G or improved camera or simply those 120 hertz refresh rate on a 13 Pro, the iPhone 11 still, again, is a great device. If you're comparing between those and you want to be most budget friendly, the iPhone 11 is your go-to phone for most bang for your buck. Now, if you were to go ahead and compare these devices now in 2022 and want a phone probably to last you 5+ years, this is probably where you're going to be looking at a 13 compared to a 12 here. But iPhone 11 here, definitely worth it in 2022. We can't go more in details, but do know that the iPhone 11 here is a premium device, although it is not sort of the premium pro model. That's why we want to hear from you guys. What are your thoughts on the iPhone 11 here? If you guys used it or looking to use it or getting one, leave a comment in the comment section. We want to hear from you guys. Thanks for watching, guys. See you guys next time.